Welcome back, everyone, to the Railroad Challenge. And there apparently is a slime somewhere around here. Where is it? I can hear it. I don't see it. Is it underground? This thing's making a racket. Is it under here? Hmm. Makes me wish I were in the Mage Rage and had a revealing spell to see where that slime was. Yeah, I can think of all sorts of uses for that revealing spell now that I'm not in Mage Rage, but when I'm playing it, I say, oh, what? Oh, I have a revealing spell? I forgot about that. Well, I can only imagine that it is underground, which means that there is something underground. Let us investigate. It despawned. Oh. No. Or it was right under me and it decided to shut up for a moment. Interesting. Well, you're gonna go on a little slime hunt. But it's not going very well so far. I will dig, and it'll grow night, and I'll get caught out here. The creeper will come and blow me up. You know, it'll be all sorts of joyous things happening as a result of this little hunt. And of course, it'll despawn right when I get to it. You know, it's going to be perfect. Directional sound. Actually, let me try that. Aha! I think I found it. Unfortunately, it's also late. At the very least, the slime proved to be a nice little helper in finding this location. Whether I'm happy about that in the end or not, of course, will be a completely different matter. Oh, well, I found the slime. Okay, good. It's doing its best to try to come and get me, isn't it? I also found some iron here, which is always useful. Never argue when it helps you to find some iron. Right? Right. Make sure that no creeper comes down this way first. Seems to be a opening up there somewhere, but now it's time for a little... Oh, there's a skeleton around here also, apparently. Oh, yes, of course. We are talking about... Actually, let me get my bow out before I finish out this combat. Let's see. Bow. Oh, here it is. So for a moment there I thought I didn't have my bow with me. Alright, and this is... Mending, and I've got... Oh, 17 arrows. Okay, good. Now, where is that skeleton? Alright, so much for the skeleton. Oh, these smaller slimes have no trouble getting up here. But, I now have more slime balls. I did find a cache of them between episodes. I had about 20 slime balls, so I made a few more leads. But, a few more will never hurt. Right? Right. Oh, I guess I should... Oh, these things are so cute. Unfortunately, there are also creepers around, which are slightly less cute. What's he carrying? I don't know, but this place is a death trap. Oh, hello there. Yeah, a death trap. I am going to have to clear this out. But I might be able to turn into something that could breed slimes if I... Unfortunately, it has to be dark to breed slimes up in a swamp, which is the disadvantage of using that methodology, is that other things could breed too. Uh-oh! I just heard that noise. Boom! Oh, come on. This place is getting larger and larger as I go through, because we have this right down here. And that's leading into a mine shaft. That's another area to actually, this is pretty close to this could be the reason for the stop, of course. I've been struggling on that on the last few ones. On this one I was saying, okay, we're in the middle of nowhere. What in the world do we want? Do we just make it a fishing spot or something like that, which is what I was considering? But look, this little spot here that started out just by hearing one little slime hopping up and down is getting larger and larger and larger. It's like, what is here? Well, I guess that's no shock. So I think it's going to turn into something very interesting in the end. And so far I have managed to grab, well, the 10 slimes from earlier in there and 49 gold. I mean, not gold, iron. So this is going to be quite profitable from the point of view of finding more iron for rails as I go along. And I still haven't gone down into that mine shaft, and that mine shaft should also be very, very profitable from that point of view. But I think it's time for us to head upstairs and actually build something. Our overall haul is 1 stack of iron plus 5, and a slime ball, a few bones, a little bit of string, spider eye. Alright, not everything there is impressive. I replenished some of the arrows, but I spent many more than I replenished. And we have that mine shaft that is surely going to give me more rails and power rails and the like, and I'm sure much more iron. So I think it will in the long run be profitable. Now, since I envision that the owner of this rail line is a mining company, since the 00 point is so close to another mine shaft, I figured this could just be another mine owned by the mining company, and that is the reason for this stop to exist. I'll just have a connection from the terminal, probably not even going outside, and going down here in some way. So we'll have a basement to there, similar to what I do in the second stop on the southern line, or the western line, where I went down and down and down into the zombie spawner partly, but also into a mining area here. And I think this one is, in the long run, going to be the more profitable one. The first thing that I'll need to do is make the actual place where the line stops, where you stop the cart and then head for the next one. And this one is going to be right here. We'll do what we... Oh, there's stone directly under here. Well, at least we have a nice solid foundation on which to build. Completely by accident, but don't complain when you get something that's useful. There you go. I'll just have to dig this away, and it looks like I put the chest right where I need to build. Heh! Typical! I've added this part of the platform so far, and this tells me what I'm going to have to do with this, and that is This pond's going to have to go, I'm afraid. Because, yeah, it's just not going to work. Sure, there are all sorts of people going to complain about that, but sorry, no pond. I'll have to find another fishing hole. Probably a good place to put a fishing hole would be... Alas, we're getting out of the area, so maybe that doesn't work all that well. Oh well. Look what I uncovered as I was digging this out. I was thinking I need to find some complicated means to get down to that area, but it looks like I got there naturally. Alright, well, and that's the entrance that I have made. Yes, I got rid of the water at some point while I was under here. So, it looks like then that getting to and from here is going to be the easy part. So most definitely this is going to be the highlight point of our little station here. This is the layout then of the actual interchange coming here like this. Typically what we have been using in the previous stations, meaning the original version, not the attempt that I made earlier that eventually completely failed. So I hope someday to still come up with an improved design for my station interchanges. But with this here, that means I'm going to have to create a corner here where I could create my stairway down into the mine shaft. Because obviously we don't want that to be right over the active travel lines. I think the ideal point would be right here at this location right here. Use a double and we could come down this way and down this way. I'll obviously have to neaten that up before I consider it to be done, but that at least gives us our way up and our way down. Do I have any stair? Oh yes, I do. Good. Right. Then that is what we are going to do. Have our way up and down. Obviously I have to make this thing safer to make sure that no mobs spawn and find their way up here. One thing at a time. We're good, and I'll find some way to turn that around. But that gives us the major layout of the area. We have the usual interchange. Obviously that'll be mirrored over here. Then this eventually going this way. We will have to find a way to get along that way. And we do have this entire matter of how we are going to get up here, because I thought I was planning on climbing the hill, but that's looking less and less attractive now, especially considering that we pretty quickly have to go down again. So I am going to just dig away there, but I don't have to do that immediately since that's technically part of next month's build. There you go. But it does mean that I can clear out the area where the station itself is going to be, because we are going to be leveling things ultimately. Wait, this thing rips through grass like it's paper. Ah, we do appear to have a potential fishing hole right nearby. I was just going straight in that direction. Well, it looks like on this side we have this, and even better this place. So I think that could work out after all. Alright, as for this, for now I think I'll just fill it in with dirt until I come up with a better idea as to what to do with it. Whether to fill it with concrete, or not concrete, with cobble as I had there, or do something else with it. But for now, we'll put grass there until I come up with a better idea. Now, as for the station itself, what would be the best material? I was thinking of oak, since we do have all these oak trees here. The other problem, this is oak, that's oak. Of course, the trees are all oak. There's a great deal of oak around here, and it just may be overkill. So I want to see if I could come up with a contrasting material. And unfortunately, I can't think of one at the moment because we're not close enough to where the dark oak is located. I think that's for the next station. Now, one possibility is brick. The trick is getting enough brick in order to make that feasible. Do I have any clay on me at the moment? Thought I mined some clay, but obviously either I didn't or I put it somewhere else. I obviously did not mine it because it is still here. So I will dig out the clay here. Maybe find some other spots, and perhaps that will give me enough clay to make some bricks. And if not, I could try to scrounge over at the starting area and all. Now I might just use perhaps oak as the primary material and use clay as a contrasting material or something like that instead. That is if I can't get it, because I know that brick is pretty expensive here. I think you need... Actually, I think it's... you get one brick block for one clay block, I think, because each clay block yields 4 clay balls, and you need 4 clay balls to make bricks. Yeah, so it might work after all. I'll just have to make myself a furnace and do some cooking away. I had earlier lost the llamas that I had brought over here, and just a moment ago I heard the sound of llamas. I said, oh, did they come back? No, it looks like a new merchant has appeared, and he most definitely spawned on the rail line. See what he has here. Light gray dye, beetroot seeds. I don't have any beetroot seeds, but I don't see have any need for them either. Birch saplings. I got other sources of that. Dark oak saplings. I'm about to head into a dark oak area. An azure bluette, which are common around here, and blue ice. 6 each for blue ice. Yeah. If I had a desperate need for blue ice for a particular project, where I needed only 1 or 2, maybe, but that's 6 emeralds for 1 blue ice. Yikes. I don't have that many emeralds. So, apparently I'm not doing any trading with that guy either. Alright, now I'm gathering some oak to use in the building there. If I make it, well, even if I don't use it in the building of the station, it will come in handy for the finishing up of the line, since I still need it for those purposes. When I look at these trees, I'm just thinking that they really need to implement mangroves. Now, so I suspect that mangroves, maybe mangroves like brackish water, and if this is a freshwater swamp, maybe that doesn't work all that well. I'll have to look that up. As I thought, they prefer saltish and brackish waterways. Thus, we are not going to likely find them in an interior swamp as like this. Now, of course, in Minecraft, they don't have a methodology for telling, I was saying earlier, other areas for birch. I can use birch as a highlighter. Yeah, because I did say I needed something to contrast with the oak, and I think birch will fill that, and it is local because I was able to see it from the location. Let me see. I'll just have to plant some more of these and gather birch as I gather oak. Well, I decided not to buy anything from the merchant. It did give me a couple ideas on what to do here in using the birch for material. So I will call that a bit of a win there. What I'm going to do is clear out the area so that I could build my building with some oak, with some birch, and maybe even with some bricks, and see how that looks. But we'll start the real building process in the next episode of the Railroad Challenge.